This holiday season, every time you purchase a 12-ounce SnortBucks coffee, a portion of the proceeds will be given to the Penny Foundation, the world's premier charity dedicated to helping down-on-their-luck content creators pay their daily bills.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I need my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
So stop by your local SnortBucks today and help send some penny their way.
Okay, so at current, we're about to close in on 12 days till Goutmas, which means we get into the real. We're gonna get into the real main events as it pertains to that. Excuse me, we're getting close. We're actually pretty close. At the time that this comes out, it's probably only like 1 or 2 more videos, and then we get into the realness of it. So anyway, so the variety part. So for the initial 25 days of Goutmas, I wanted to show you guys some variety. A little bit of range, if you will, on my end, and whatnot. Hopefully you guys got a chance to see some of that. That's give you guys an idea of what you're going to see in the upcoming year, but we'll talk about that later. But we'll really buckle down and we'll go over some real vintage bacon going into the holidays, whether stuff that I missed or even going a few years back. We'll see how that goes. To be honest with you, because I have some ideas. Funny enough, most of that's already recorded, but whatever. I always make changes for no reason, because that's what I do. In any case, welcome to 25 days till Goutmas. Well, 25 days of Goutmas, I should say. Next year I'll probably call it 25 days till Goutmas. But welcome to 25 days of Goutmas, brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company, hard Snorts Gin and Tonic, and Tim Snortons. It's a thing. So hopefully you guys are doing well, and I appreciate you guys sticking in there, or sticking in there basically. And we're actually going to double back, to be honest, the side scrollers this today, because they decided to comment on, let's see here. They're actually commenting on the Asmongold DSP fight, which was a smart move on Craig's part, to be honest. It's clear that he is looking at the Kino Casino archetype and but is willing to incorporate DSP back into their regimen in small doses, which is something he's kind of done already, whatever. But it's probably a smart way of going into 2026 and trying to build a little bit of interest using DSP, because DSP is putting himself out there. And realistically, not in any different of a way that Steel Toe Morning Show tried to do before that whole fuckery happened, and and really no different than Kino Casino. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very clear that Blabs, at the very least, keeps up with what goes on in the DSP verse. Most of the people they bring on as guests have at least heard of DSP in some way, shape, or form, or they know people adjacent that may follow DSP. So it's a market, if you will, that they can cut in and get a piece of. From what I've been told and from what I've actually heard directly from side scrollers, not directly as me talking to them, but just watching some of their clips or whatnot. Duty's over there on the regular. I think Duty's actually their plug. Make of that what you will. So, you know what I'm saying? Mine as well. And it's kind of ironic in a lot of ways, because that means the way Duty is basically establishing whatever you want to call it with side scrollers is exactly what he did with Rich before whatever happened over there. So yet again, the way some people do some things, the way they do everything. So anyway, womp 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 womp. So there's that. Anyway, apparently though, side scrollers decided to speak on the Asmongold situation with DSP. Actually, I think I've done it a couple times, to be honest with you, at this particular point. If I don't get to it this year, we'll get to it next year, because I got a whole big thing planned for that anyway. But we'll see what's what with this, and we'll go from there positively. Oh man, hopefully you guys' holiday season's going well. and whatnot. Hopefully, it's starting to feel more and more like Christmas. Well, in IRL, it's feeling like Christmas for you guys. Online, hopefully, it's feeling a little bit more like Goutmas. But that's here or there, if you will. That's touch or go. In any case, I appreciate you guys spending your time here with us, and let's not hold it off any longer. Let's just go ahead and get to our situation proper, if you will. And let's see here. We got that, and let's see if we can find our video in question. Boy, if you guys saw my initial docket of videos that were up here that got hammered through, I gotta tell you, even as early on as I started this, I didn't think I was gonna get through all of it. I was like, "There's no way I'm going through all this. That's not gonna happen." Well, I'm glad I did.
So look.
Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go ahead and give proper introductions. Let's get to our situation at hand, shall we? So we're here with side scrollers. DSP just picked a fight with Asmongold. This is from November 17th of 2025. You're the snake. You're the snake. And whatnot. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and remember, all links to all this stuff will be down in the description. As you guys know, rounds of SnortBucks is on me. It's the holiday season. And without further ado, here we go.
So look, last week we introduced Mally Mouse to Darkside Phil. She had never...
Oh, how they tortured that poor girl. God damn, dude. I think I've already gone over that video, and it might be up by now. But you guys will see it. But they tortured her. They tortured her. You know what I'm saying? Literally by crucible. I mean, that's kind of the way you have to do it, though. You can't just ease people into this shit. At least some people. Sometimes you just got to have them get in there. But torture. Torture what they did to that poor girl. Oh, funny stuff nonetheless.
Heard of Darkside Phil, and she very quickly got to know Darkside Phil. It was very funny, and we plan on doing that on a regular basis when she returns. As a matter of fact,
and another thing too, now I think about it, which is it's kind of smart to actually force side scrollers to slowly but surely incorporate DSP into their stuff, especially when it comes to their guests and whatnot. Because DSP is such a not just a fraudulent gamer, but just a fraud in general, they might as well just bring him in there. You know what I'm saying? Show some of his clips of some of his dumb shit, show some of the hot takes that he has on certain games, and bring people on who have actually played those games, whether they like them or not, but who have actually played them and have them kind of go, quote unquote, like a head-to-head with it. Dude, that's money. That's money. Now, of course, Duty's not going to be able to facilitate, you know, oh, well, maybe I can get DSP to talk to you. Yeah, that's not happening. But if Craig plays his cards right and whatnot, DSP may get desperate enough where he's like, well, he may go ahead and try to pull another Asmongold situation. Hey, we had our beef before, but you had this one guy talking shit about me on your platform. Well, I want to talk to him. And Craig could be like, okay, come on our platform and do it. Why not? Why not? You know what I'm saying? This ain't no friendship shit anymore. Like, he could literally have his own version of fucking gaming internet blood sports right on side scrollers. He could literally turn it into that type of situation. I'm sure Yellow Flash wouldn't mind getting into the ring with DSP, amongst others. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if this is me thinking in the long term, if Craig plays his cards right, bro, you know, this shit could be money. It could be real money if he really think about it. And then, like I said, it's in a nice little controlled environment. Don't bring in politics because DSP don't know what the fuck he's talking about anyway. And any person who can read it right at a basic level will run circles around him. But as it pertains to gaming shit, yeah, humiliate the fuck out of DSP as it pertains to gaming shit. Go at him. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Bring DSP up there twice a week to get beat the fuck down and shit. Screw it. And DSP will take it because once he starts to get comfortable, he's going to think, well, maybe I'll get to actually have a seat on the show where I can go at people who have bad takes, which isn't going to happen, Phil. That's at least not the way I'm thinking of it. It's not going to happen. You're there. You're the dancing monkey and shit that everybody gets to laugh at. No more, no less.
Reached out to Duty to see if Duty can provide us with little bits of lore to slowly trickle out every time Mally is on when it comes to Darkside Phil, right? It should be very fun. With that said,
okay,
a lot of this spurred up when Asmongold actually reacted to Darkside Phil and kind of went was talking about just all the Philisms, I guess the best way to describe it. And wouldn't you know it, this has spurred on quite the conversation between Asmongold and Darkside Phil. And Asmongold was talking about this on stream the other day, and he said he actually wants DSP unbanned from Twitch. So I wanted to share this first, and then we'll kind of go with where things went from here.
I'm back for the first time in like 12,
can't
13
do
years, and I wish
that.
you the best. I hope you'll grow. I'll never grow. How can I grow?
I think you can.
And see, that's the reason why I'm kind of sitting back and waiting. Excuse me. Until his whole resurgence bullshit plays out, which obviously it's fizzling out a lot quicker than people. No, I think it's really right on par. I'm actually surprised it went as long as it did. It's not over yet, but I'm surprised it lasted as long as he did. But I'm personally waiting until it's just all said and done, and then we're right back at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's my understanding that he said welcome home for the second time. I'm hoping he means that as in welcome home, hey, the begging's back on the menu, because truth be told, it never really left. But this whole shit, this whole Asmongold experiment, I can't wait to hear DSP explain away whose fault is it that it failed. Because in reality, ladies and gentlemen, it failed, obviously. Like, remember, Kino Casino was 8 months. This whole DSP thing, it's looking like maybe 10 days, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, and whatnot. So, you know what I'm saying? At the time that I'm recording, I don't think we've gotten to, he's missed a goal yet. I don't think he's missed a stream goal, even though supposedly those things don't exist anymore. I don't think, excuse me, we've gotten there yet, but it's coming. And then when that happens, then it's just a matter of, are we going to have a little bit of a streak as that goes along, or is it going to be like a one-time deal and then the begging will be right back on the menu? It is what it is. He sees the numbers dropping. You know what I'm saying? Most of those people, the roaches or whatever they call them, they're, you know what I'm saying? At least they're not calling themselves like veto files or whatever the fuck. I'll get into that later. That's on some comic ski shit. It's very clear that these people aren't going to stick around. Most of it were just LARPs. I think some of us jumped to conclusions a little quick and said that, oh, Asmongold was under the pignosis. Most of his audience were under the pignosis. I think it was just a LARP. I think some of it was anyway. So I don't think we need to give it any more life than it needs. But we'll see what happens with that. But how's DSP going to explain this away? Whose fault was it that you were given this rub by Asmongold and you didn't do shit with it? You sat on your ass, on your pompet, and didn't do not a goddamn thing. And if you're not going to do shit, then get the fuck off the pot. And you didn't do anything. And that's why you didn't get anything. You thought you were going to coast and whatnot. Asmongold didn't promise shit about doing a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, if he was considering on doing one, maybe he would bring you on. So there's no way you were dumb enough to depend on that. And then in typical hoish fashion, you're sitting here buying all these peripherals and everything, thinking that, oh, look at my setup. Look at this. Look at that. Fuck you. Here's what the situation is. And obviously your father didn't teach you this because, or maybe he wasn't around enough to teach you this. I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, what makes the man? Does the suit make the man, or does the man make the suit? And DSP falls into this category where he's thinking, if he can be fraudulent enough, if he can fake it enough, you guys will see him for what he wants you to see him. That's not who he is. And that always slimes through, not shines through, slimes through. And that's what DSP can't figure out. He thinks he's going to buy all the new toys, all the gadgets and bells and whistles to give himself the image of success, the image of maturity, the idea that he knows what the fuck he's doing and what he's saying. But when you actually stick around and actually view it, you can tell that he don't. You can tell that all this shit is just a distraction. It's for you. It's not to the benefit of the audience. It's for you. You're self-grandizing yourself. This is self-glorification. This is self-defecation. You're just masturbating to yourself, basically. And you're just using all these peripherals to show it. And it proves nothing. In a few months, it won't matter. It's just going to start to break down because DSP don't want to update Windows, nor is he probably updating any of the firmware of any of that equipment. He doesn't even know how to use any of that equipment properly. So eventually it's just going to go through breakdowns. And ladies and gentlemen, the most important part of it, and I can say this because I produce slop content, it's still slop content. It's not going to get any better. So if the content is not getting any better and you're buying all this shit to allegedly improve the content, and the content don't get better, what the fuck did you do it all for? And now he's going to be in a whole new can of worms, because once the stimulus package dries up, once we're back to begging, assholes like me, I'm going to cut back off fucking my little hiatus. And I'm gonna be ready, rip roaring, being like, "Damn, Cat, unfortunately you couldn't get that vacation. That's a shame, bruh. I don't know why that was. Hey, Phil, couldn't get a blood test for Jasper. Can't take Cat on a vacation. Can't fix the shit up in your fucking house. What's the problem, Phil?" And what are you gonna do? Go through another year or two of that, DSP, until you can finally get the house refinanced, if you can even do that? Because you're gonna have to get way more work done than just you, quote unquote, fixing the toilets. You see what I'm saying? You see like where the problems with all this shit lines in? And I'm saying all this too, because this is what Craig needs to worry about. Because if Craig is going to stay up to date with some of the stuff that's going on with DSP, he don't have to get all of it. But if you're going to keep up with some of the day-to-day shit on DSP, you kind of need to know some of this shit. And he, of all people, should understand that. So before you start indoctrinating Mally Mouse or whoever else into this shit, I hope he has some other people around him that are also able to at least funnel some of this stuff to him, so he can keep up with the day-to-day. If Craig plays it off right, he can have a few people that can give him some of the older stuff, and then someone that can help funnel the newer stuff to him. He's in a prime position to make good money. You know what I'm saying? That Alinity voice, good money. He's in a very good position to do that if he plays his cards right. We'll see.
I am going to talk to Dan Clancy. I mean, what do you think? They care about weird stuff on Twitch? Apparently they don't. I think you need to get unbanned on Twitch, Phil. I do.
He doesn't need to get banned. He needs to be able to remonetize. And if that does happen, DSP's going back. DSP's going back. Because I do feel like this part isn't a LARP. I feel like Asmon's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to somebody and be like, yo, can you look at this guy's account and whatever? You know, he's a bum. You know, he's a loser. He ain't got shit else. This is all he does with his life. Can you at least get him remonetized? I'm not saying to get him partnered again. You know what I'm saying? Let him get remonetized. Let him get to affiliate. And then, you know, whatever happens after that, whatever happens to that. I could see Asmongold possibly pulling that string. Is he going to go to Dan Clancy? I don't know. Can Dan Clancy pull himself off of those fucking 20-something-year-olds and shit to be able to do anything about anything? We'll talk about that later. But realistically, I could see Asmongold reaching out to someone and maybe like, yo, take a look and see what's what. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice for me to have a punching bag, you know, on the same platform that I'm on, because Asmongold doesn't always stream on YouTube. He does it occasionally. Mainly he's on Twitch and Kick. So womp, 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 womp. And it would be funny if Asmongold could actually maneuver him in and be like, you know, maybe DSP feels emboldened in the fact of like, hey, the streamer awards is a joke. I heard, I don't even know who, I think Burnt Peanut got fucking nominated for VTuber. That's going to be great if he wins and whatnot. Just him getting nominated has already made people mad. We'll see how that play out. Amongst other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, amongst other things. So getting DSP on Twitch to go ahead and talk about some of this shit and have people in the ecosystem react to him. Then coming off of the Ethan Klein situation and the Three Thoughts, Frogan or Frog Girl, whatever. The Denims, which is going to be crazy to see hopefully she don't hit the wall in the next couple years, boy. Because goddamn, if she do, she's going to hit hard as fuck. And then someone who did hit the wall hard as hell, fucking Casey Tron, the dopehead. It'll be crazy to see what ends up happening. It'll be crazy if DSP went ahead and reacted to some of their shit. And of course they're going to punch down on him, because why not? Everybody else does. So like getting DSP back into the Twitch ecosystem would kind of be a good look. It would kind of be funny. But that's neither here nor there. Well, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to put any more pressure on the writers. You know what I'm saying? They're already, how they're going to close up this season's already looking kind of whatever. So we'll see.
I think you need to get unbanned on Twitch.
And to be clear, Phil has not been banned on Twitch. He's just been removed from the partner program.
No, he's been demonetized. Because you can be removed from the partner program and still be monetized. He's been demonetized.
So just something to, or their you know, partner program affiliate, whatever it is.
Can you go in later as to why when we're all done?
Oh yeah, the guy at the bottom. He is actually part of, well, he was. I don't know if he's still part of it now. He was part of LawTube. He was the guy that used to have the New York cops hat all the time and whatnot. And he didn't get into a whole lot of drama. I'm sure he's been embroiled in a couple of things, but he doesn't get into a whole lot of drama. But it's funny how with the fall of Nicholas Recatta, right? And you know what I'm saying, the kids, you know, with the coke and everything, according to Ethan Van Skyler, that was their drugs. That's what Ethan said. I didn't say it. That's what Ethan said. EVS said that was those kids that was they drugs. That wasn't That wasn't Nick and his wife's drugs or Aaron's. That was the kid's drugs, according to Ethan. Anyway, it's funny when Nicholas when Nick Rekieta fell, pretty much everybody in LawTube basically started to go on their own promotion or press campaigns and whatnot, and they're all picking these little spots in some of these different communities, right, to do so. Some of them have gone into games, some gone further into different types of news, deeper into politics. Some people got into the entertainment news part of it. You call it drama hoarding if you want to, so on and so forth. Each one of them have picked their spots and whatever, and it's kind of interesting and whatnot. It's kind of interesting to see how everybody webbed out, which makes me wonder why they didn't do that when Nick was still in pocket and Nick was still theoretically the man. Why did they wait until he fell to finally start doing that? And it makes me think that the money was coming in so good when Nick was around, no one wanted to disrupt that, which I don't see how they could, because that shit was you and the LawTube thing and you guys surrounding Nick or whatever was your flagship. And then you guys could have some of your secondary, you could have secondary and third options or interests that you guys could have done side missions on and built something up for yourself. Instead of when LawTube's armada end up fucking disbanding, everybody kind of just had to scramble and figure out where they fit in. Anyway, that's just my interpretation of it, if you will. But it's just weird. If they had done some of this stuff some years ago, it could have played out a little bit differently. The opportunities were there. You know, whether you guys want to believe it or not, or even want to accept it, and I don't blame you on either front. There was a time, man, where if you were affiliated with Nick, just being on his stream, boy, that opened doors for you. You know what I'm saying? It was like the reverse Ethan Ralph situation when Killstream was a thing, right? Where, you know, maybe some doors closed for you, maybe some people would bring you on for some spicy takes or whatever. You know, with Nick Rekieta, though, back in his glory days, yeah, that opened doors for people. It certainly could. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really surprised that, like I said, some of the side mission shit happened as late as it did. You know? But that's just me, though. I may talk about that further one day.
Sure.
Do we know
As a personal
What's that?
so why did he get his partner thing removed? I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm just in the dark on that. I didn't know.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh, okay.
It's the number one. By the way, it's the number one thing when you search why was DSP, and then it auto fills out removed from Twitch partnership. Just so you know.
A quick AI overview says Darkside Phil had his partnership revoked and was permanently banned from Twitch in July 2020.
See, and that's why you can't really blame people for thinking that he got permanently banned, because that's what the AI shit says. Even though any detractor, troll, hater, critic worth their salt knows that he wasn't banned off the platform. And nor was he, you know, he was demonetized. He was kicked out of the partnership and he was demonetized. That's what happened for hateful slurs. But the truth is, that's not even the only reason. DSP won't tell us everything else. It's easier for DSP to focus in on the lowest common denominator and run with that. Because if you hear everything else in conjunction, which I'm pretty sure there's more there, it really tells the tale of the tape. And let me give you my own personal, not Theo theory, not exactly a Theo theory, on why I think that. So on Twitch or X, or Twitter or X, you have ban alert or whatever that account is that they go ahead and they follow all the different streamers who get banned and unbanned. It's like an automated system. It's really neat. Anyway, if you go into the thread when a particular person gets banned, there are people in there that will actually drop all of the reasons why they got banned, and it's usually more than one. And then if you go to live, or if you don't want to do that, you could literally go to live stream fails over there on Reddit, and there's literally someone who has the clip for it and the full explanation on why. It varies by person depending on what the offense is. But if I had to guess, DSP got hit for more than one offense. He just put out the easiest thing that he thought he could explain away and victimize himself for. And why would he do that? Because that's par for the course. You know what I'm saying? That's par for the course. Because if DSP had to explain all of the different reasons why, then it gets complicated. Then it gets muddy. And then it gets to, well, I don't want the detractors to win, so I'll lie if I even have to. And DSP, if he's not above defending pedophiles, so the detractors don't get a win, then what else do you think he'd be willing to lie about? And that's the thing that I'm always gonna hold over DSP's fucking head, amongst other things, is that you lied and defended a pedophile just so you could stay face in front of your fucking detractors. It doesn't get no more sick than that. At least in the vortex, if you will, or in the snort text. It does get, I've in my in some of my travels, actually, this holiday season, I found far worse, not pertaining to DSP, just other people, but I've in other communities, but I found far worse. Holy shit. But that's pretty bad when you're known as a pedo defender. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, Vito's worse, but then there's somebody worse than Vito, to be honest with you. But they all want to go ahead and say it was all jokes, which makes it even weirder that you would joke about that. But whatever, we'll get to that.
He claimed he was not informed of the specific reason by Twitch at the time.
Which he lied.
But it doesn't say anything about why he's back on Twitch then.
I see it says, according to a response from Twitch's legal team received by DSP on May 18th, 2021, the termination of his context licensing agreement was due to, quote, repeated instances of inappropriate conduct involving hateful slurs.
That shit sounds delicious, don't it? It sounds like the most delicious fucking candied holiday bacon ever. That's good eating. That's good eating.
What? Sounds like he got reported.
Okay, all right. Well,
he repeatedly got reported for multiple instances. Don't try to dumb it down to just one little thing. Don't do that.
Let's go and continue here, because Asmongold wants.
And see, that's one of those things that like when new people jump into this shit, that they end up fucking up. Like, they automatically kind of jump to, oh, well, he must have gotten reported, without actually getting all the full details yet and whatnot. And then that's how you get fucked up. And I've seen that happen to other people in other communities and shit. Holy fuck. I've seen people get ran out of other communities and shit just because they just didn't take a few minutes just to get the rest of the situation. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised, bro, when you walk in on someone else's terrain like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful how you tread, bro. You go in there on some silly shit, or you go on there on some king fucking shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you king dingling or whatever. That's going to cause problems, bro. You got to be careful of stuff like that.
Some back in the program.
Investment to me, so I can farm your crash outs even more.
See? I told you. That's the marketing scheme.
This is
I think Phil should get
strictly business for Asmongold at this point.
Unbanned from Twitch.
I mean, why wouldn't it be? Like, Asmongold has toppled bigger people. Like, if you can think about it, there was a time where Asmongold had XQC, Hassan Piker, H3, and Destiny all felt it in like the same month. When you got a batting average like that, Darkside Phil's playing on a level that Asmongold passively just practices on. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't real. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing. Asmongold can do this while he's in a food coma.
I think we should try to get him unbanned.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why are you so mean to him? I don't know.
Oh, when internet content creation in 2025 is.
Oh, man.
By the way, great face right here from Asmon down here. Now, this, like I said, this has kind of been an ongoing thing over the last little bit. And Phil over on X actually reached out directly to Asmongold in a very direct way and got ratioed for it. Hey, Asmongold, read your X DMs, you lazy shit, or else stop talking about me like a bitch.
Ooh,
this was his
tough
response
talk.
here. Real big tough talk. Now, he did go live later on and say that the reason why it was so harsh in the way that he said this was to get Asmongold's attention. And he did send Asmongold a DM saying, hey, man, sorry about that.
Damn, he apologized like a bitch. Holy shit. That's crazy. That's like if his sister-in-law Jenna said, yeah, no, you're not good enough for this box. And then like 10 minutes later, you're sitting there dumping fucking baby gravy down her fucking throat and she's thanking you for the pleasure of doing it. The fuck? Bitch, you better stand 10 toes on everything if you're gonna talk that crazy, bro. You're gonna run up on there and call people bitches and then you apologizing in DMs? Wow. Sounds like some lol cow fag shit to me. That sounds like you running around lying about people, and then you go get into their DMs and shit, and you're saying, yes, sir, no, sir. It didn't mean to be like that on some bitch made shit. Jesus Christ. Classic low cow behavior.
Just wanted to get your attention. And he initially apologized for this because Phil's playing 4D chess here. Okay. He wants to get his attention and call him out. So did he actually get a hold of him here? Well, what's interesting is that Asmongold has now invited DSP on stream to explain why he's upset with him. We saw this clip here.
If DSP wants to talk on stream, I will do it. I will do it.
How magnanimous of him.
And
it really was, to be honest with you. It really was. To find the nastiest, dirtiest, filthiest little piglet in the fucking mud and shit, and you decided to scoop his ass out, clean his ass up for a day, and be like, I'm going to turn you into Wilbert before I turn you into bacon. Sure, I think that was very magnanimous of him. Quite the humanitarian, ladies and gentlemen. You guys should never mock someone who does charity work, ever, public or private.
I usually don't do this.
Now, let's take the bets, because I don't think Asmongold is going to really hold back on him. How long until DSP rage quits the interview?
Well, as somebody who has both interviewed Phil and been interviewed by Phil, the first time it went great. It went really well until after, when he decided to play and become a victim. I still, to this day, don't know why he's upset about the first 5-hour interview we did. And then when I went on his show, and he, ended up with like a "fuck you, got him" type thing. It's pretty.
I remember that.
It's pretty spectacular.
Got him, Chet. I beat
him. What an idiot! It was pretty spectacular. Now, I would put the probability at like 98% that there will be some sort of crash out if and when Asmongold and DSP do get together.
No, DSP can't risk that. Like, DSP can't risk that. Not on that platform, not at that level and whatnot. I mean, theoretically, he tried to do that to y'all, and how that worked. So he's going to do it to someone who's 100 times bigger than y'all? Nah, I don't know why that was even a thing. Not at all. If DSP sat there and lied to y'all for 5 straight hours and then basically ate the shit for like a day or two until it bubbled up for him to go back at y'all. You really think on the largest platform that ass clown is ever going to get, he's going to sit there and rage out? And then even if he did, let's go ahead and look at some of the benefits if he did. If he was to do so, DSP would have to be thinking in the long term. Like, this isn't even pig luck at this point. Like, he needs to be somewhat strategic about this. He would have to hope that Hassan Piker, mainly just Hassan Piker, and his drones would sit there and pick up on it and then signal boost the shit out of it in the hopes that Hassan Piker actually says something about it on his stream to like big ups that situation or even spotlight it. And even Hassan, as fucking retarded as that guy is, because that dude literally starting to appear to be like he's mentally slow. Like, I had already speculated that for a minute, but he's starting to come across, the more I see him, he doesn't seem as aware as most people try to big up him. Anywho, even then, Hassan Piker wouldn't bring DSP on. Like, it just doesn't benefit him. You know what I'm saying? It's easier just to have his minions just signal boost that shit. And even then, that's going to fade out. And Asmongold will shake that off. He won't even notice. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a mosquito bite at that point. So it doesn't even, there's no benefit for DSP to have done that at all. It would have just made him look a whole lot worse. And that just puts even more eyes on his fucking detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. DSP don't want to risk that. So, no, there's no way. DSP would have eaten the shit and whatnot, and he would have just taken it like a good whore and whatnot until it was done. Let's be just the reality of it. Now, if Craig is talking about the situation as a whole, then okay, I can see that. But if on Asmongold's actual platform, on their actual stream, and DSP decides to crash out on him, no way. It'd be easier for DSP to just try to guilt trip him, right? Or try to get people in the audience to sympathize with him. There's no way DSP is going to crash out on that. He's a coward. Cats don't stand for shit.
So, I think there's a high probability of that. Now, Mitsu, I know you after seeing this, you're not super familiar with Phil.
Not as much as I probably should be at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your when you first saw Phil right there?
And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to initiate every guest, but boy, if you're gonna bring out, I don't want to refer to them as cattle because that's kind of egregious. But if you're funneling in some of these people, right? It doesn't hurt to go ahead and hit them with a little bit of the Himalayan fucking piggy salt on them every once in a while with some DSP bullshit and see how they react to it. You know what I'm saying? Find out what they know, what they don't know. Hit them with a little bit of seasoning. See how they react to it. If they can hold that shit down, well then, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, just maybe, the next time you're on the show, we have something else for you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
What were your thoughts on him? And we're gonna continue here this meeting of the minds here in a little bit. But what do you know about DSP?
I've heard the name maybe bandied around on internet.com a couple times. I don't remember why I specifically heard it. I know that apparently he's got decent choice of sweaters, I guess. He really liked that grandpa sweater he was rocking there, and he's got good choice in microphones, and that's really all I know about the guy.
Well,
yeah, I guess if you're buying 4 or 5 different microphones, though, you can't really miss, right?
Blabs, what can you tell Mitsu about DSP?
The camera was on the entire time.
He's not going to... He masturbated live on camera.
Wait, what? Wait, that's a little bit different from where I was going here. He did Charlie, what now?
He masturbated and thought he was offline, and then saw he was, and he said, "Oh, what? The camera was on the whole time, huh?"
Wait, Yellow Flash, if that's Yellow Flash, if Yellow Flash is up there, then what the hell do they need duty for lore when Yellow Flash actually has a folder and he's actually seen some of that shit? Whatever. I guess the more options you have, the better, I suppose.
Classic. This is deep internet lore here.
How long ago was this?
I mean, it's
been a few years.
At this point, it's timeless, Mitsu. It's just timeless.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Tony Storm subscribed to it.
All right, well, let's go ahead and continue here.
I always just wish he accidentally blasted his face. I'll be done.
We talking about Randy from South Park. That's hilarious.
Wait, some ice cream just appeared from the bottom.
Boom!
Well, what's the problem, Labs? You want to go for ice cream?
Not that one.
What? It's vanilla.
Damn.
It's clear. No, I gotta bring that back. Just because. Oh shit. Oh wait, boy, damn! I never seen Blabs get so disgusted so fast.
Just wish he accidentally blasted his face. I'll be done.
Wait, some ice cream just appeared from the bottom.
Boom!
Oh, what's the problem, Labs? You want to go for ice cream?
Not that one.
What? It's vanilla.
Damn.
I'm sorry, that shit was funny. Like that shit was funny. Oh, good shit. Like I said, I know Blabs is in everybody's flavor. I get it. Not every woman should be your flavor. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Pick and choose. There's a lot of flavors. There's a lot of textures out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of beautiful females out there in various ways. Enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Sample, if you will, with moderation. You know what I'm saying? But that was funny. That was kind of funny.
It's chlorine flavor.
Let's go and see what happens here.
I usually don't do this. I actually hate talking to people. But this is so ridiculous that I will make a one-time exception, okay? And yeah, I will do it. If he wants to come on my stream and explain how I was wrong, and you're gonna be able to do it in front of everybody. You can do it live in front of everybody here.
See, he was gonna try to eat, like Asmongold was literally gonna bring him up there just to hang him. Yeah, to let him hang himself, I should say. Like, that's literally what he was gonna do. Which is kind of what happened. So it is what it was.
What
if and when this happens? Look, our interview with Phil was great, right?
Actually, now I think about it, I should see if Side Scrollers actually reacted to that. And if they did, they probably did it like on Rumble or something. I don't know if they would have posted that to YouTube or not. I don't know why not. Unless it's behind like a paywall or something. So I'll have to look.
And he's
It might be interesting to hear what their takes were from it.
done some other stuff in the past. Like this would probably break the internet for the day if this happens, right? You guys think that that's probably accurate?
Yes.
Say for at least a few days, actually.
You think it'd be a few days of runtime on this?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's
Depends
see
on
if
how
there's
hard the crash out is.
if they do this, should we restream and react to it live? Or maybe me, perhaps? Just should we do this on this channel? Chat, let me know. Let's go ahead and see if there's any stipulations involved in this.
Everybody here. What if he wants it to be on his channel and not yours? Well, I mean, it could be on both of our channels. He could go live at the same time. That's fine. Yeah, I don't care. It's up to him. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to upload it himself, go ahead. Sure.
I mean, yeah, like DSP's the charity case. Like DSP's the one who needs the help. Asmon's just gonna be bored for a few hours. But what the fuck? Sure, if he wants to go ahead and go live on his own channel and get whatever fucking saying poultry amounts that he can pull out of that shit, whatever pittance he can grab, you know what I'm saying, he can scrounge up, then sure, why not?
Not a problem to me.
You see, we should probably nominate Asmongold for like humanitarian of the year or some shit. You know what I'm saying? In his efforts of lol cow restoration. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Big ass coke cup. Jesus.
Yep, sure. Not an issue at all. He tweeted at 5 a.m. It's at 2 a.m. It says 2 a.m. And so he was sitting there up.
Yeah, he's building up the gin o'clock. It's on par. It's about right.
So he was up late. Wait a minute.
DSP, that wasn't up late for DSP. That's just DSP's normal time. For everybody else, it's late, but for DSP, gin o'clock is a thing.
Was he up late watching my videos about him?
Yeah, that's what he do. He does that. He does that every day. All he does is scrounge fucking kiwi farms and fucking YouTube for all the videos and streams that people talking shit about him. That's all he does. Which, funny enough, is exactly what Amberlyn Reed does. It's what Foodie Beauty does. It's what Low Tier God does. It's what Wings does. You know what I'm saying? It's really torture. Like, I don't understand why you torture yourself with that shit. Like, why would you do that? Like, what needs does that serve? You have to be somewhat sadomasochist to do that shit. All it is just torture porn at that point. You got, imagine that let's remix that. To know that you have tens of thousands of people and then hundreds of thousands of people on top of that watching it, but you got tens of thousands of people who make fun of you in various ways, shapes, and forms, right? From, I'll use the DSP detractor community, for example, from YouTube to Twitch to fucking detractor Twitter /X to whatever's on TikTok, Reddit, kind of, sort of. But you know what I mean? You got all these different platforms where you get made fun of and shit and ridiculed and mocked and all that bullshit, right? And then you're sitting there watching all that bullshit. And then obviously the farms, let's not leave the kiwi farms out of this. And then the farms, and then and then the cow forums, and then all of that. There's other websites out there too, Goutopia.net, for example. Big ups to all that. Anyway, you go ahead and you're watching the majority of this shit. Not even all of it, but you're watching the majority of this shit. And you're watching all of these comments of people laughing at you over this bullshit and giving their hot takes. And this is what you're subjecting yourself to daily. Daily. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can call me mentally ill or whatever the fuck to make yourself feel better and help you suit up every damn day. But you have to be mentally ill to sit there and want to read all of that or watch all of that daily. You know what that shit does to the mind? You know what I'm saying? And don't be wrong, DSP thrives on negativity, right? But then that's the reason why he's willing to get on his fucking hands and knees like a whore and take the bullshit from people who he thinks he can get something from. Because if he turned back around, all it is the streets of Goutopia, and he knows what's waiting for him there. So what else is he gonna do? But he talks about having, and that's the reason why he talks about having a positive life, a happy wife, and all that other bullshit. That's the reason why he does it. It's all just window dressing. It's just a curtain. You know what I'm saying? It's a shield. It doesn't hold no value. Because when you understand how he really lives, right, it tells the tale. That's why the dented zone is so fucking devastating, right? It's a fantastic piece of work. And that shit's absolutely fucking devastating. Because it gives you a real life look into DSP's day-to-day without being there. You know what I'm saying? Like without, you don't need confirmation that that's what that is, because when you look at how DSP presents himself daily, that's clearly what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why it's going to be really, really hard to top that. It's going to be really, really hard to top that. That's a fantastic piece of work, and any follow up after that, it's going to be scary. Even though I think the next piece that's coming out is going to be like a what if piece, a hypothetical thing, which I think is a good idea. I think it's a good idea to give people those hypotheticals or whatever, because the more time they put into that, the closer to the truth it very well could be. Now, how they decide to deliver it's going to be something all in itself, which is up to interpretation. But you know, if they keep the jokes tight and they keep it as realistic as they can within reason, and make sure that it's funny, you know what I'm saying, while also conveying the seriousness of a situation, there's so much what if situations that they can draw from. There are so many different situations that they can reenact from DSP's lore that it's all it does is print money. You know what I'm saying? Even if there's a couple of duds in there, you know what I mean? You know, you learn and you grow as it goes on. So we'll see. We'll see how this is it the Christmas special they have coming up. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll see how that plays out and whatnot, and then we'll go from there. But you know what I'm saying? Like that right there. Like if you think about that, like think about Dented Zone, for example. Just imagine if Cat was sitting downstairs watching that shit. And then he comes down, he comes waddling his ass downstairs, and he plops on the couch next to her, and she has to see that shit. And he has to look at her while she's watching that shit. You know what kind of emotional damage that could have on a chick who's already damaged goods? Yeah, I said it. I said it. That chick is damaged goods. Everything in DSP's life is damaged goods in one way, shape, or form. So this is just par for the course. You know what I'm saying? Is that cruel of me to say that? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And I'll own that. And I'll own that because it's true. I'm not even trying to be comedic about it. That chick's damaged goods. And she had sat there and put herself into a situation by her own choice to become even more damaged. Because there's nothing good that comes out of being around Darkside Phil Burnell, DSP, Dark Geppetto. Back to my initial point. Just imagine her sitting down and watching that shit. Not just how she's depicted, but the life in general or existence that they have together. I bet you it's not too far off. And that has to be scary. That has to be scary. And it has to be a bit demoralizing. And it's around the holidays too, man. Suicide rates are up. You know what I'm saying? Don't be wrong. I'm not wishing for that. I'm not putting that idea out there or nothing. Just saying, bro. She's been in that house since 2018. It's a lot of years of your life to be thrown away. It's a lot of time that was wasted that you could have been doing something else in the pursuit of comfort or trying to preserve comfort and maybe even consistency. DSP is so fucking boring that he is very consistent in how boring he is. But there is a trade-off. It's the same bullshit every day. And that's why that whole Twilight Zone type theme worked out. You know what I'm saying? That's a scary situation. It's just something to think about. I'm just trying to provoke some thought with that.
He was up late watching my videos about him. And I guess that's what happens. I guess that's what it is. Yep. And because there have been a number, I accidentally ended someone's career. This one came out a day ago. It has 700,000 views. Oh my God.
It's become very clear that we need to do more Asmongold DSP content. If there's a video doing 700,000 views.
Holy shit, nobody will ever end
no.
DSP's career.
No, and Mitsu, that is truly something you need to understand, that long after side scrollers and Asmongold and Mitsu and Phoenix and Blabs and Flash and our grandbabies are gone, Darkside Phil will still be there. He'll still be there acting.
This is why I love the thumbnails where he's an old man. Some of his detractors make him an old man in their current videos.
Make a statue of him and put it outside a Twitch. It'll just
That was a pretty good shout out for SnortBucks. Big ups.
Be him with his hand on his head, you know.
Well, this is really interesting to see. And if and when this happens, looks like chat, you guys very much.
And now I think about it, and this is me really theorizing. I'll have to sit down and actually think this out if I want to flush this theory out. If you think about it, DSP's resurgence may very well be the Asmongold rub, if you will. Maybe we were looking at it too short-sighted. Walk with me on this. Walk with me on this. So, what if DSP's actual resurgence, his return to relevancy, which he was never relevant, but you know what I mean? What if it isn't what directly benefits him, as DSP always hopes it will? But it kind of just wakes up the general population of who DSP is and what he's been up to, at least the last few years, and especially as it pertains to modern gaming, right? And you find more people willing to go over his gameplay and mock it. Because most people, as it pertains to the detractor community or whatever, like, DSP's fucking gameplay is trash. Like, you have to give it up to, like, Outsider and, like Memology and even SnortBucks, and a lot of the people who go over, will filter through some of his gameplay garbage. Voltboy is someone else that comes to mind. Big ups to him. Big ups to all of them. But, like, his gameplay really isn't a focus anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? For people directly in the DSP detractor community, right? Like, you got, like, TikTok and Reddit have really kind of taken the game journalist thing and kind of ran with that baton. As many batons as there are to grab. But if you could get some of these people who are still in gaming, right, and who are old heads themselves, and they themselves start to kind of drum up a little bit of interest in that, that might be the resurgence that DSP is talking about and even hoping for, but he'll never benefit from it. You know what I mean? And to see more game companies or developers continue to use DSP as the guinea pig would be even more fascinating. So, like, the way I'm thinking about it is not necessarily a saturation of these gaming communities or even gaming medias and mocking him or whatever, but at least him being on the bulletin board, right? Like, somebody has like a notation on Windows or fucking Linux or whatever they're using, or Mac, and being like, I wonder what DSP is doing from a gaming standpoint. They go to a TikTok or to a tweet or even to some detractor content that's already basically mocking him. And then they use that and be like, what can we do with this? You know what I mean? Because despite DSP himself, DSP content is hella versatile. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different ways that you can spin it, you can flip it, you can use it to, you know, basically it's clay. You know what I'm saying? And really, your imagination and your creativity is the only thing that's limiting you, to be honest. Which is ironic that DSP has none of those things, and he's mad that he's never taken seriously, but everybody else can do well off of him. It's kind of crazy. But it'd be nice to see more people in the gaming circles, especially guys who are already well established, old heads in particular, come out and kind of start entertaining some of the mockery of DSP and whatever for good jokes. And don't be wrong, this is a little bit different from what you see from, like, the That Being Said segment where, like, DSP's out in the wild, or what you see on the farms where they have their DSP in media. It's a little bit different from that. I want something a little bit more direct, and I want it from a source that people used to be familiar with, and now they kind of use DSP as a stepping stone to kind of reestablish themselves. Something along those lines. I'll flesh that out later. But that's what I'm thinking. I would love to see something along those lines. I think that would be kind of neat.
Very much are intrigued on the idea of us doing a live reaction to this. I think that'd be a great thing. Would love to see that, and I think it'd be fun. But what I don't want to see is what Ricky Berwick said happened to him over on X. He said DSP has gone too far, and we've seen a lot of this happen. I just can't even believe that Phil would do this.
I gotta see what program it is that he's using to do that. That's just not funny.
The crosshair was on his head, and the game just says, no, listen, if you ever want to get this wheelchair back, you're going to have to pay Sir Snort Gout $20. That's just how it is.
It'd be $50. It's a goal.
God, that's in reference because so his kick chat, like, doesn't donate, and all they do is, I guess, clown on him. I can't confirm because I don't go watch his streams.
But see, that's why DSP needs to go back to Twitch. Like I said, DSP can stream on, at least at this point, he can stream on three platforms comfortably, right? At least 3 platforms comfortably. Dude, there's no reason why he's not on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Kick can still have its mockery shit, so DSP can still get his daily paycheck or his weekly paycheck over there. He'll have more monetization options and power on Twitch than anything else, and he needs the YouTube audience because, to be honest with you, it's a lifeline that still brings in pretty good money through his begging, through super chats and so on and so forth. You can't even say ad revenue because the VODs are immediately sent to the Snorty Shadow Realm after the fact. So it is what it is on that. He needs Twitch. He needs Twitch. And I'm wondering if DSP, yet again, grabbing all these peripherals and everything, is just him building up to go back. Because you don't have no other options, bro. Kick isn't doing it. YouTube has been dead. YouTube has been dead for DSP. So he has no choice but to go back to Twitch. And this Asmongold thing may have given him enough confidence to do it. The show DSP as that, the rebel, the defiance, his CM Punk in air quotes of, I'm going back on this platform that's done me wrong and that hate me, but I'm still going to be successful because fuck my detractors and fuck Dan Clancy too. You know what I'm saying? And whatever little 20-year-old he's messing with. Why wouldn't DSP do that? You don't think DSP doesn't have that type of spite in him? I do. We'll see.
Just watch the detractor content. But
aren't you the part of the problem there, Yellow Flash? You don't understand what he's truly all about.
I should be watching his show. But he turned shit off because they weren't donating. He's like, you want your highlighted messages back? You're gonna have to pay up.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Well, you heard him, Kick. You better start donating over there. Unbelievable, man. That's unbelievable. Well, we will keep you guys updated on the Asmongold DSP beef. Someone in the chat mentioned that this is gonna be a thing this week. So if and when this happens, we will keep you guys updated, and we will be there front row reacting to it live. Very much anxious to see how this goes, considering we did deliver the preeminent Darkside Phil interview, which was supposed to be one of many, but ultimately ended up being one of one. So.
I'm very glad, though. That one was a lot.
It was a lot. It was very early on in the side-scrollers lore.
It would be nice to see a part 2, though. To be honest with you, I'd be up for it. I'd be up for that. Obviously on side-scrollers platform, but I'd be up to see that. And I think DSP is working his way to it. As mad and as disgruntled and all that bullshit that DSP is right now, I think DSP would, if the opportunity was given to him, he'd go back. Because what other options does he really have? You know what I'm saying? Like, the highest he was ever going to get was Asmongold. It's all downhill from here. So it is what it is.
But it's a good time.
And then that one little exclusive bit that we did, what was it, on Rumble or whatever it was? And
that Nazi hat nonsense that was put around behind the paywall. And some good Samaritan dropped that shit for everybody else. And then Craig just kind of conceded and was like, all right, put it out for everybody else and whatnot. I mean, I don't know why he did that. He probably would have made far more money if he had just released it outright instead of putting the paywalling. But run your business the way you got to run it, my guy.
And then you brought me on that one, and I was just like, hi.
Let me just say this. Phil putting on the M. Bison hat that looked exactly like a Nazi hat was just
Yeah.
Which is what DSP was fighting against. It's not a Nazi hat. It's a dictator hat. M. Bison's a dictator who commits genocide. You know what? I don't even need to explain that shit. Like, it was stupid. It's stupid as hell. Like, there's no way he couldn't see the correlation between M. Bison as a fictional character and fucking Adolf Hitler or any other fucking dictator that has committed a mass genocide and anything else. You know what I'm saying? I get it. The Nazis are at like the top of the pinnacle and shit, even though I would argue that, I mean, shit, the Russians might be worse, but that's debatable. That's debatable and whatnot. Depends on how far back in history you want to go. But then again, if you want to go really back, I mean, shit, you can't say what Genghis Khan didn't do and whatnot doesn't ring some dinner bells on that shit, or fucking what the Romans did and whatnot. I mean, just anyway, let me stop. But the point being is that there's no way DSP just didn't realize that shit. Like, you were willing to fight so hard just so people wouldn't get a win. So you wanted to defend basically Nazis and pedophiles, Phil. I wonder if I really sat back and thought about it, how much further I could go back and look on other shit that you defended just so people couldn't get wins. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna hold that thought. I'm gonna hold that thought. Because I have a channel specifically for going back and doing old shit like that. I'm gonna hold that thought. I have ideas. And I kind of already ready to execute it. Now I think about it.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So now this was brought up here. Ranger George says, Craig is bearing the real story here. Did Savvy get an answer from DSP about where he gets those Hawaiian shorts? And this is in response to the initial tweet here, by the way. This is really important that we do bring this. Thank you, Ranger George. Savvy actually says, can you DM me where you get your Hawaiian shirts? Before you told me it was a store, but didn't narrow that down. We actually do have a response from DSP. He wanted to let him know that he gets them from clothing stores.
Got him.
Damn.
Uh-oh, Billy Mitchell's in the mix. What's Billy got to say?
Fucking burnt, Savvy. Sorry I had to deal with that. Such burnt, that first degree burn right there.
Wait, go back to the Billy Mitchell shit.
Speaking of destroyed, also on this thread,
Perfect.
The irony here of DSP putting the tweet out and then getting absolutely ratioed by Billy Mitchell.
There you go.
With 2.2 likes over here. I feel like we should probably put this.
I want that confrontation between Billy Mitchell and DSP to go down so fucking bad, but DSP won't do it because he's a coward and he knows he's going to lose. And he don't want to do anything that's going to prop Billy Mitchell up. Because they're both pieces of shit. But fucking A, bruh. I'd have loved to have seen some shit like that, but DSP won't engage with him. Billy, even at Billy's old age and shit. Like, it's funny. This is the same guy, me and DSP, the Beggar King, who said that he could whip Mike Tyson. Who says he could beat fucking Wings in a fight, which even I don't believe that. That's just that's bullshit all around. So you're 2 for 2 now, Phil. But you don't even want to engage with Billy Mitchell? You don't want no parts of that cat? You didn't mind trying to run down Cancer Man Medicare and shit to get him to talk to you before he died, but Billy Mitchell's out here in full effect with hot sauce in hand and whatnot, ready to go ahead and sauce some pork chops. You know what I'm saying? Give us some additional binder for our baby back ribs and shit. You don't want no smoke with Billy. God damn, you're a coward, Phil. Damn, you're a coward.
Made this the thumbnail today, but that's pretty brilliant right there. So,
man, I really like Billy Mitchell nowadays.
Billy Mitchell
he really turned it around.
Fucking generational run. We gotta get him on. I hope to God he tries to sue us one day. I hope to God. Nothing would make me happier than Billy Mitchell.
Did you see the pinball video he put out?
No.
And he made so him and I think somebody else played it, and they made the names Carl Lost and Poverty Forever, I think was the other one. I'd have to go look at it.
Was this
it was 7 hours ago.
Got it. Let's see. Let's actually, while we're going through all this stuff, why not? Why don't we just go ahead and check out, see what Billy Mitchell's going on? Because once again, Billy Mitchell's probably a top 3 guest I would like to have on our show.
And the thing is about the Carl Jobs thing, I'll go over that next year. But the thing with Carl, right, is like, I hate to give Billy this alley-oop, man, but I kind of have to do it. Like, if you want the championship, you got to take it from him. You can't hate it off of him. You can't hate it from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really wanted to if you really wanted to take Billy Mitchell down, you had to make sure all of your bases were covered, right? Because, like, Carl had, in the court of public opinion, he had Billy whipped. But I feel like he didn't have enough legally to get him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the unfortunate part, because like it was minor slip-ups that this shit could have gotten squared away. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if they had broken even, Carl was still won. He still would have been, championed by the internet or whatnot. Instead, you got Billy running around here literally building his name up on Carl. You know what I'm saying? Because Billy can't really go after the other people he wants to sue because they literally have his ass beat. To be honest. That's why, and most people don't even think about this, that Carl was such a linchpin that there were other people who wanted to get Billy and take him to court, and now they can't do it, or they're not going to do it when they initially said they were going to, because the thing with Carl fucked up. So Carl not only fucked up the bag for himself, but he ain't fucked it up for a bunch of other people too. Anyway, I'll talk to you about that another day. But like now you got Billy just literally building, like, you know what I'm saying? He's like trying to rebuild his palace on the top of fucking Carl and shit. And it's just like, fuck, man, how did you mess that up? You know what I'm saying? The fucking easiest layup that was ever gonna given to you is Billy Mitchell. Even Billy Mitchell's former friends hate Billy Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? And you fucked it up. It's fucking crazy, bro. Fucking crazy. And I want to say it's a technicality, but I can't. I can't disrespect it like that because it is a little bit more. But just how do you fuck up something like that? Jesus Christ. That's like I'll use myself as the example. That's like if I get an opportunity for an actual one-on-one with DSP and I completely fucking botch that shit and I just fail it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like that. You know what I'm saying? That's devastating. If it was for me, it'd be devastating. But that would be devastating. You know what I'm saying? So like, how did Carl fuck that up? You know what I'm saying? It was so easy. You had all the momentum behind you. You had the youth. You had literally the internet behind you. You had the funding. You had everything. All you had to do was sweep his ass up in court, and that was it.
I would just love to dig into Billy Mitchell lore. So let's go see what Billy Mitchell had to say over here. Just to kind of put a pin on this segment here.
Hey, Billy. So what's one of your favorite pinballs?
Well, there's actually one pinball I like twice as much as most any other pinball.
I will say Billy's looking healthier too since he won that case. I got to give Billy that. I mean, like I said, I don't know if he has Parkinson's disease or what. I'm not sure what it is that he's afflicted with. If he had like a minor stroke or something, I'm not sure what it was. But like, he does seem healthier. He looks healthier at the very least.
Yeah.
Hey!
You know, I can play both at once.
Look at Blabs over here.
No, that thing is fucking expensive. That pinball's like 12 grand. I'm just saying.
They're all like 12 grand.
Yeah, they're all expensive as shit.
10 grand. Like, pinball machines are expensive. I would love to have one, but that's a lot of money.
Blabs.
I mean, you could go to an auction for that. Like, they do have auctions for those things. You probably pick up one for like between $2 and $5 grand, depending on where. I don't want to say where Yellow Flash is from, but you know what I'm saying. He could, if he looks at his area and whatnot. Like I said, there's auctions in not only in his state but in states adjacent to him. He could find one for a pretty decent price if he's willing to go out and get it. That's all I'm saying.
If you're Billy Mitchell, you can afford this.
But that's in any state, though. Truth be told, so it is what it is.
Shit.
Fine, whatever, man.
That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, it's a really nice pinball machine.
All right, see what you got.
Oh, there's your demonetized music.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here. So he's playing. And he's going to play a little bit more. And then then he gets to the end. And let's see. Oh, there we go.
He's so
he's putting in his top name. It's Carl Lost. Carl Lobst.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Play on his last name. Yeah.
Mitsu, we need to there we go. We need to teach you the lore here, by the way, behind this is the Carl Jobst, Billy Mitchell lore as well. So anyways, that's another segment for another time. But Billy Mitchell has been on a generational run over on X in terms of content creation. So good on Billy Mitchell right there. And bad on DSP. Or I mean, maybe it's good for DSP. What if, let's just, to bring it all back to DSP Asmongold thing, let's just say hypothetically.
See, that's what Side Scroller should do. They should reach out to Billy Mitchell and be like, yo, if we can set up a 1v1 with you and DSP, would you do it? That's what he should do. That's what he could do. Let me not say what he should do, but that's what Craig should, or what could do, I should say.
The DSP Asmongold square off happens. And then everybody looks at DSP and he's like, well, actually, he's not that bad. And he becomes the next, like it's only taken 20 years and he becomes the next Asmongold. And what
that would never happen. That would never happen, at least not the way he described. And any benefit would have been short-lived, which was written in the stars anyway.
If DSP buries Asmongold?
That would never happen. DSP don't have it in him. You gotta have heart, and you have to have that dog in you. DSP is a bitch. and he's a pig that squeals. Like, there ain't nothing about that. He's food. And don't ever take that out of context. DSP is food. He's there he exists to feed the machine. End of story. Like most lol cows, to be honest with you. They are food. They're not people. There's nothing, they don't bring any inherent value to themselves, because if they did, they wouldn't be lol cows and be in the situations that they are. They're food. They're there to be consumed. End of story. And even if they could turn it around, they won't, because that means they would have to take some type of real responsibility. A lol cow can't do that. Beat your lol cows and beat them often.
Just saying. That'd be pretty. Flash, what's the likelihood of that happening?
0.
Oh, I tried. Your dad said you should hit the subscribe button. Don't disappoint dad.
It's almost like he's talking to DSP directly there. That's kind of hurtful. Holy shit. Oh well. I mean, it is what it was. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was pretty fun actually. That was pretty fun. I want to see that 1v1 between DSP and fucking Billy Mitchell though. I want to see that shit badly, but it's not gonna happen because DSP's a bitch. Anywho, it is what it is. Gotta let a coward be a coward. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. This has yet again been 25 days of Goutmas. I will see you guys tomorrow and whatnot as we continue our holiday campaign and whatnot, and as we get closer and closer to 12 days till Goutmas, which will be a thing. It'll be a thing and whatnot. I'm not sure what order that's in, so it probably won't be in any particular order or a countdown as I normally do traditionally, but I think you guys will get the gist of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it's been 25 days of Goutmas. Season's greetings and happy holidays to all of you. And take care of yourselves, people, and whatnot. Stay safe out there. Hopefully your holiday season's going well, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Womp, 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 womp. Later, people.